I'm Tiffany Vogue, and this is Midwest Hollywood. Today, I am joined by...
Harley Reckless McMichaels.
And we are both drag entertainers that live in West Hollywood. How's it been for you? Big fan? You like it here?
Girl, you know, there's the good and the bad. There's quite a bit of ugly, especially after 2 a.m. in Vaseline Alley.
Oh!
But, you know, I do love my life here.
Do you have any West Hollywood horror stories that you would like to share with the class?
I guess I'm desensitized at this point because I've been here for a little while now.
Yeah.
But all I can really think of is, you know, some of the stuff you find happening in a gutter behind a bar when you're stumbling home after a long night of work.
As a drag queen, I'm never out, like, on a Saturday night really late. Usually they have the drag shows on, like, weekdays or during brunch on the weekends.
Yes.
Because it's already so packed on the weekend nights that it's the drag queens would be in the way, the show would be in the way. But when I have been out there late at night on a weekend, I see things.
Yo, girl, don't we all?
People get violent. And I don't even know necessarily that it's like local WeHo people that are getting that fucked up and that violent, because if you did and you lived here and like your reputation would be ruined.
Oh,
you wouldn't
everyone
be able to
would know.
show your face anywhere if you were out here causing a scene that nasty.
Girl.
But I feel like people come to West Hollywood from all over Southern California.
Totally.
And they're like, I don't have to maintain a reputation. This is like the one time I'm ever going out. I don't know anybody here. And they get sloppy. They drink so much. They get violent. I have seen them pull, like these are two full-grown men.
Yes.
Pull one of the other men down off of something he was sitting up on top of. Pulled him down. That man fell like 6 feet onto the concrete on his head. His head smacked that pavement.
Ooh.
It was like, there have been times where I thought I may have witnessed murder.
Oh, yeah.
I saw somebody get curb stomped.
Oh, I've witnessed that before,
They
too.
jumped up with both feet up in the air, pulled those legs in, and smacked their shoes, both shoes, down on their head on the concrete.
No. That's a lot of effort for a Saturday night.
I know. And the ambulance is, that's how you know it's 2 a.m. because the ambulance is there carrying away somebody's body.
I live right next to the fire station in West Hollywood, so trust me when I tell you, every time there's an emergency, I'm one of the first people to know about it, whether I am out or whether I'm at home, because I hear it.
Because you're in your apartment opening the blinds trying to get a glimpse of those sexy firefighters.
I know, I'm over there like, alright, when are you taking off your shirt? Call me, I live close.
It's wrong to objectify people, but it is right and correct and expected to objectify firemen. And that's my own personal opinion.
That's just...
Otherwise, why would they have the calendars?
Oh, honey, those calendars.
If you have a calendar, you're giving permission to be objectified and gawked over. Just like I, getting all dressed up and glammed up, I'm not going to go out and be like, oh my god, why are you looking at me?
I'm
shy. I'm shy, guys. I hate attention. I'm quite literally demanding attention.
It's true.
And so are you.
It's true. But it's funny because I'm actually somebody who hates attention, but I do drag. It doesn't make sense.
But do you like attention when you're in drag? Because this is your art, right? So it's different. It
Yeah.
almost feels like you're not being objectified.
Yes.
Your art's being objectified.
It's my persona.
And that's fine.
That's fine.
That's the same way that Chapel Roan, she talks about Chapel as her project.
Yes.
So she's able to differentiate, like, her personal life from her Lady Gaga or her,
Well, Chapel Roan is literally a drag queen.
Well, she is, yeah.
And anyone who says otherwise can fight me.
Yeah.
I live at... No.
By the fire station, bitch.
I'm so scared. If you have any crazy fans that watch this and are like, where is Harley? And they're just wandering around outside the fire station like, where does he live?
God.
And that's why I don't like attention when
They
I'm
wouldn't
out
be
of
able to
drag.
recognize you out
It's
of
true.
drag.
My hair is... spoiler alert, this is a wig. My hair is not this color. Sorry.
I will say that you're a very easy person to pick out of a crowd
I
of
am.
drag entertainers. You do have like a signature style. I feel like there are listen, at this point, the drag queens, kings, well,
It's
actually,
the queens.
Let me
just the queens.
I try to be all inclusive, but this is just the queens. At this point, the drag queens all need to start wearing name tags. Because they all look the same.
This is
They are all wearing the same outfits,
Girl.
the same wigs.
this is a point of embarrassment for me, but also it's a point of frustration with drag in general. So obviously the community goes through phases of like, oh, this style is really big in a wig. People were going around at DragCon asking like, what is absolutely necessary for drag, or what trend in drag are you tired of seeing? The amount of people that are pissed about those hard-styled, super structured wigs. I'm not mad. I'm just pointing her out.
Listen. I like to have so much product in my wig that it moves even less than I do on stage.
That part. I agreed to that very quickly. And yes, for once I did hear what you were saying this time around.
Harley has got her hearing aid turned up to 9 today.
Girl.
Okay, so that's what I saw. I saw a lot of... Sorry, we really got sidetracked.
This is 2 people with ADHD
yeah.
trying to record an episode about goofy shit they see around West Hollywood.
It's insane, but I think that's my West Hollywood horror story, is seeing people get the most lit that they've ever been in their entire lives and starting goddamn fights.
Yeah.
To the point where they almost kill each other.
Yeah.
And we hear rumors. We're like, I remember people who work in the scene, they're like, oh yeah, no, that person from that night, they died. And like, you never know if it's true or not.
That has happened.
I believe it.
It's like, well, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
How do I find them?
Have you ever been somebody's savior? Like, you've seen somebody that was like super wasted.
Honey, oh god. There was a guy outside of Beaches. He was like slumped down on the parking meter. His phone was in his hand. He was gone. There was nobody home. He was asleep, drunk on the sidewalk, and I walked past him, and I'm a compulsive helper. I have to help people. I see someone in a bad situation, I will be stopping no matter what, and it drives a lot of my friends and family members crazy because it ends up holding things up, but I'm like, hi, I'm gonna help someone real quick, just hold on.
Holding things up.
I had somebody literally, they were like, we're gonna be late to dinner. I was like, this person is passed out on the sidewalk. Just give me 5 minutes, please. So I remember...
This person is tied to the train track. Can I please, just for a moment?
Just let me pull out my knife real quick. I'm just gonna saw off the ropes. And
it'll take no time at all.
Yeah, don't worry, they'll hold our reservation for 15 minutes after. It's gonna be fine, honey. No, but this guy was fully passed out, phone in hand, wallet half hanging out of his pocket, and people were just walking by. And I'm assuming it was because a lot of people were drunk, and when you're fucked up, trying to help someone else who's fucked up doesn't always go super well.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that the second I see someone in trouble, I sober the fuck up, and I'm like, let's fix this.
Yeah.
So I'm like poking this guy. Not like
you
that.
You get a stick, and you're like, is he...
Well, because there was a second where I was like, is he breathing? Like, it was bad. People are really, really fucked up in this scene.
Yeah.
So I was like, first of all, I checked to make sure he was alive, and kept trying to, like, wake him up, and he was very in and out of consciousness. And it's kind of a usual unfortunate thing that you hear when you're trying to help somebody like this, which is like, I don't know where my friends went. Like, where's my phone? Where's my wallet? I don't know what to do. And I'm over here like, okay, well, your phone's in your hand, your wallet's in your pocket, your cards, there's still cards, cash, and your ID in there. So nobody robbed you, thankfully, which that happened. Oh, girl. Oh, let's talk about the phone stealing afterwards. Oh, honey.
We'll put a pin in that. We'll come back to it.
We're going to
complete this one.
Girl, yeah, let me complete one single thought. But it's always pretty much the same thing where it's like, I don't know where my friends went. Like, let me try and call somebody, and so you take their phone and you're like, how do you unlock? Like, how do I get into your phone? Thankfully with Face ID, if you can get the person to look conscious enough, you can get into their phone.
Oh.
And then I had him, like, unlock his phone with his face, and I went, okay, who do I need to call? And he kept giving me names that weren't in his phone, and I was like, do you have it saved under something else? And he's like, no, he didn't have any. You know how some people have, like, goofy names for people in their phones? He wasn't one of those people, because none of his contacts were, like, weird. He literally was just giving me names of people that were not in his phone, and I was like, I don't know who to call for you if you are giving me...
Here's the gag. It wasn't his phone. He stole that phone. He's one of the pocket thieves.
He's one of the thieves! Because, girl, let me tell you, they've gotten it a little bit under control, but if you ever come to West Hollywood, phone in your front pocket or in your hands at all times, because people do be stealing phones out here.
Yes.
And if you have one of those, like, wallets on the back of your phone, this was a personal problem for me. Not in WeHo, but I did get my phone stolen with my ID and all my credit cards attached to it. Don't have that. Put your important shit somewhere else, because it will get snatched, and it's very unfortunate. My phone is still my old one is still somewhere in Tijuana.
At least some part of you gets to go on vacation.
Girl, because it's never this part. The people who go out on Monday nights are built different. Let me tell you.
They know that they're going to get fucked up, and they don't care that they have to work tomorrow.
Girl.
They are risking it all.
They go in, and let me tell you, it's very much like the people who, you can tell they don't go out on the weekends that often because it's too crowded for them. So they go out on a Monday, they still behave like it's a weekend. So you just get, like, people who are there, who are working, people come out to support the show, and then you get, like, 2 or 3 people who are just plastered. Oh, horror story, here we go. I'm the stage manager at Mickey's for Showgirls on Monday nights. I was working one night, and this guy walks in and is kind of like bugging the DJ and kept like trying to get up into the DJ booth, and security kept telling him like, dude, you can't be up here. And he was like, well, I'm friends with the DJ. You know, people love to pull, well, I'm friends with this person. It's like, we met one time when we were both blacked out, and I hate to tell you this, but we're not friends, and I'm not gonna get you in. I have never seen this man before in my life. But this man comes up, bear hugs me, and I kid you not, licks my face. Licks my fucking face. Literally just gets up and goes, ugh. And I was wearing foundation at the time, and you could see the tongue mark up my entire face.
What's he got, a cat tongue?
Girl, I was like,
Took
what?
a layer of skin, too.
He might have. You never know. But I walked upstairs into the dressing room, and Kimura was like, what? Why are you upset? And I went, someone just licked my fucking face. And she was like, you need to take off all your makeup right now. And so I literally am like, pre-Showgirls, like scrubbing my face off because, personal space, people. Personal space. And it wasn't that long after, like, the mask mandate was lifted as well. And I'm like, did COVID teach you nothing?
No.
I don't know what you were on.
Who's doing that?
Who's licking anyone's face? Oh, a trend that we all did a lot as drag queens before the pandemic that most people have gotten rid of. Money in your mouth.
Oh my god.
Girl, can we talk about this for a minute? The money in the mouth thing. So I was guilty of that whole thing pre-pandemic. I think a lot of us were. And then we learned a few things when the world shut down. But when I have a couple of friends that I work with semi-consistently who still will take money with their mouths. And the amount of videos that I have been sent from shows that I work of me just going, no, bad, that's nasty, like yelling at a drag queen in the mid. It's always the queens. I've never seen a king do this. Let me just say, drag kings are the most well-behaved people on the planet. Book drag kings more, first of all, for many reasons. But one of the reasons is they're way more well-behaved than the queens. Oh, girl, don't do that.
You're gonna give yourself hepatitis just so that you can earn what, like $2 more
It's like
to earn
$1.
your number?
I'm like, listen, if it's 100 and it's fresh, you're a little less likely to get. I'm not advocating for this. I'm not. I mean, even Sasha Colby, she used to lick the dollars and stick them.
Oh,
well, she would never lick $1. It was at least a 20.
Okay.
Because she's a lady. Because she's very demure,
We know
very mindful. I swore I would never say it. I swore I would never say it. God, I did it.
We were this close to escaping.
Edit it out. But listen, that girl, just from that video, she can now pay for her entire transition and getting her teeth done, which is
good
like
for her.
Fucking incredible.
That's
so you know what? In this case, I will go with it because it helped a trans person.
True. Do you have some advice for somebody who would be moving to West Hollywood? Maybe a young queer person who's looking to leave their little Midwest town and move to WeHo.
Don't come here.
Don't.
No, I've actually spent.
You're Kamala Harris. Don't come.
Don't come. No.
Don't come.
I'm so sorry. I actually spent like 20 minutes drunkenly talking a man out of moving to WeHo recently on the patio at Mickey's because it is so oversaturated. It's extremely expensive. You do not realize how painfully expensive it is until you actually live here for a little while. And if you... PSA to drag artists, stop moving to WeHo because you think you're going to get more gigs in WeHo. There are so many drag artists here. This is a big thing with the Rue Girls specifically that drives me nuts. Or just anybody who visits from out of town. You're going to get booked a bunch when you're visiting from out of town because you're a novelty. You're from out of town. People are excited. They want to like put you on their stage.
Sure.
When you move here, you get added into the pool with everybody else, and those bookings are not going to last.
Yeah.
I've talked to so many people, like, TV and more local performers who were like, oh my god, I made so much money when I came here, like everyone tipped so well, like they loved me, I'm gonna move here. And then they move here and they're like, the money's gone. And I'm like, welcome to that.
That's the thing. You have to move. If you're looking to move to West Hollywood, you have to be moving to West Hollywood for the right reasons.
Exactly.
There are different reasons that you might want to move here. Here are 2 reasons to not move here. To make a living doing full-time drag, it is nearly impossible.
It is.
In West Hollywood. There's just so many drag queens and so few gigs. Every city that I go to when I tour and I do different shows across the country, the venues pay way more for their base pay. Mm-hmm. The crowds are much more plentiful. Yep. This city is so fraught with different events and different things to do that drag really falls to like the back burner.
People are burnt out.
People are burnt out on drag. So you're not going to make really great money doing drag here.
Not at all.
So if you're looking to make a lot of money doing drag in LA, just know that it's nearly impossible. There are very few drag entertainers that do it full time in this city. Yep. The other reason to not move here would be to be rich and famous, okay?
Girl.
Because here's a reality check that I wish that I had been given before I moved here at the age of 18, to be a star.
Yep.
Almost every celebrity that's doing really, really well, besides maybe the 1% that just got famous on YouTube or something, almost all of them are nepotism babies. Almost all of them are related to a director or Madonna. Half of them are related to Madonna.
Girl.
Like Gwen Stefani and Lady Gaga, both related to Madonna. But like everybody's related to each other, and you only get to be a part of those really big projects if you know somebody. It's all, and that's what they say in Beverly Hills, in Los Angeles, it's all about who you know. Yep. And if you don't know somebody, if your uncle isn't some casting director,
good luck, girl.
Good luck. The whole reason that they keep that Hollywood dream alive and they push it out there is so that they can feed off of the young people that move here that are going to inevitably be working for the rest of their life as a server or in retail.
It's true.
They're importing people to serve the nepotism babies. And that's the whole thing. You don't have to live in LA to be a star.
Not at all.
All the time I think to myself, why do I live here? Nowadays, with TikTok and YouTube, you're much more likely to blow up in fucking Ohio on your phone than you are to actually do it here. And it's so much more economic to be living in a more realistic place and investing into your craft, investing into your talent, and putting yourself out there on the internet. Yeah. And like I said, that 1% that did really blow up and make it here in LA without being related to anybody, they all started like Justin Bieber on YouTube.
Yeah.
Do it there. Don't move here and try to be a star. That was maybe necessary a long time ago.
Yeah, it used to be a thing.
It's not anymore.
It's just like the whole, pull yourself up by your bootstraps American dream type thing. It's very that, but specifically with stardom or entertainment. It's not what it used to be, and the whole you have to move to Hollywood in order to be a star is probably the furthest thing from the truth at this point. We actually just had this conversation before we started recording about being able to invest in your craft and how difficult it is to invest in a craft like drag where you constantly have to be pulling together new looks and producing new things in order to kind of get anywhere in any scene.
Yeah.
And it's much more difficult to do that when you are paying so high of rent that you don't have money for anything else.
Yeah. And it's a very, very common thing, I'm speaking personally, that, for example, when I did move here at 18, I moved here with nothing but credit card debt. That's all I had. Yeah. I had no money, I had no furniture, I had no connections, I had no friends here. All I had was a dream and credit card debt.
Girl.
And a broken down 1989 BMW. And with no air conditioning. Ooh. I was living on an air mattress in a garage when I moved here. Yep. And I was too poor to be single. Like, I was that poor. I had just met this boy because he was looking for a place and I was looking for a place. We had only known each other for a couple weeks, and we're like, well, I guess we'll just live with each other. That's never a good idea.
And it happens a lot.
Yeah. I will say, though, I got very, very fortunate, and we ended up being, like, perfect for each other. But the odds of that are so minimal. It's very rare. So definitely, if you are deciding to move to LA anyway, and it's not for one of the 2 reasons that we recommend you don't do it, definitely have money with you. Don't move here.
Have a nest egg.
Yes, have a nest egg. Have a plan. Maybe try and establish some connections before you get here.
That
Have a job lined up before you get here.
Be prepared to live without a refrigerator for a little while, because a lot of places now they make you buy a fridge when you move in, which is wild. I wasn't used to that, and I wasn't prepared to drop money on a fridge, and so I just was like, well, if I don't eat this food right after I bring it home, it's rotting, so good luck.
And you got to be mindful of what area in LA you're moving to, because just because you find like a studio apartment, you know, in South LA that you can afford, it doesn't mean that that's a safe place to live.
Or that it will be accessible transit or travel-wise, or that you will be able to find a job in that area. True.
And like you said, finding a job, you're going to need some way to get there.
Yes.
So if you are living on... LA is huge. Everybody thinks that, like, it's New York, where you can get a place anywhere and get around.
Girl, we don't have a subway system.
You're going to need a car.
Yeah.
You're going to need a car.
People are like, I could move to LA and not drive. I'm like,
No, you need a car.
They do have a lot of friends who get away with it, but also, like...
But they have to work their ass around situations.
Girl.
So... And they spend... so much money on Lyfts and Ubers. So much money that they could have just been making a car payment and actually be, like, establishing some form of equity into a vehicle that they own.
And this is not judging people who don't drive.
No,
by the way. There's no judgment on that.
But if you're planning...
It would be convenient to have a car.
Yeah. We're trying to set you up for success.
We are, but I still say just don't move here.
Yeah.
Don't move here, please.
But again, if you are moving here for a different reason, like, for example, maybe you already have a really great opportunity. Maybe you've been offered some role on a TV show, and you know, you have something that's going to be sustainable. That's great. Or maybe you're moving to LA just because you want to be surrounded by a bunch of your own community. You know, the LGBTQ community is huge in LA, and I think that is a realistic reason to move to LA.
Agreed.
Maybe you work abroad and you're able to work wherever you want. You're already getting paid really well. Yeah, move to LA. Be surrounded by your community. It's a great place to be surrounded and get to know other queer people. I grew up in a very small town with very few queer people, and it was hard to make connections because if you didn't get along with like the 5 other LGBTQ people, then you wouldn't have any community at all. I do say that if like for me, I'm a lady who likes to get around. I like gentlemen. And this is a great city to be, like, sexually active.
It's true.
There's a lot of sluts, and I am one.
Oh,
and I think that's probably 80% of the reason I'm still here.
Makes sense. There are at least 2 sluts in this video, and if you turn your screen off for about 5 seconds, you're going to see a little reflection. You make 3.
Oh! Well, I think that we've brought up a lot of really good talking points for people that are maybe considering moving to West Hollywood.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good reasons to move here. There's a lot of not good reasons to move here. And if you don't care about our shitty reasons to not move here, then all the power to you. This is just our recommendation. This is just our 2 cents. A little word of advice that we would have loved for people to impart to us before we got here.
Yes.
And, like, we've laid down roots here. It's too late for us.
Yeah,
we're trying to provide you with some advice and some help to help improve your future.
This is brutal honesty for you in its finest form.
Exactly. But again, the more the merrier. Yeah. We love building a larger queer community in West Hollywood, so we welcome everybody with open arms, and we would love to get to know you. Even if you're just visiting, come on out. West Hollywood is a great place to visit.
It is. It's very fun. We've got a lot going on.
That's
a lot going on.
Yeah. And you know what I would love even more? I would love for you to prove me wrong. If you really feel like you're going to be that bitch, and you're going to move to LA, and you're going to take the drag scene by storm, I would love to see it happen.
If you can make that happen, I will give you $1.
Yes, you will show up to your show at your very, very successful drag show, and you can both call us wrong, and we will both give you $1.
We will give you $1 and then probably beg you for a bouquet.
Yes, that part. Well, thank you so much for watching this episode of Midwest Hollywood. Again, I am Tiffany Vogue, and today I have been joined once again by...
Harley Reckless McMichaels.
That's right. We will see you in West Hollywood. Bye! Bye.